Beginning. The ghost ship in the dark. The first time I saw the Veilborn, it hung in the void like a forgotten god. No beacon. No transponder. No drift signal. Just a silent colossus of alien alloy, half-shrouded in its own obsidian-shielding layers, floating above the fractured moon of Tarsa, 9. I'd been working as a salvager for 6 years, long enough to know when something was wrong, and long enough to be stupid enough to investigate anyway. Aaron, you sure you want to dock with that? Jex asked, tightening his straps as our shuttle drifted closer. Looks like something the universe threw away. Yeah, I muttered, which means it might be worth a fortune. But the truth I didn't tell him was simpler. Something about the ship was calling to me. Not figuratively. Not metaphorically. A real pull, like a silent voice whispering into the marrow of my bones. We docked. The outer hull shifted, rearranging its plating to form a perfect seal around our airlock. Jex swallowed hard. Ships don't do that. No. Normal ships didn't. But this wasn't normal. Inside, lights activated one by one as we walked, illuminating a long corridor of black metal veins that pulsed faintly, like living tissue. Luckily, I'd seen enough weird alien tech to keep moving. Jex hadn't. I hate this, he whispered. This feels like we're inside something's throat. But I barely heard him, because the ship was still calling me. We reached a central chamber that opened like a flower made of steel. In the middle sat a crystalline lattice, glowing faintly, humming with energy that vibrated in my chest. Aaron, Jex said, that's a core. A living core. These ships require genetic authorization, usually royalty level. I approached it. The glow intensified. The hum rose. The chamber shifted, lighting, temperature, gravity, everything changing to accommodate me. Jex's eyes widened. Oh no. No, no, no. This ship is choosing a pilot. This wasn't supposed to happen, I whispered. But the ship didn't care. A tendril of light extended from the core and touched my hand. Images rushed through my mind. Stars collapsing, thrones burning, armies kneeling before a woman crowned in starlight. A single word burned through my skull. Chosen. And everything went dark. Middle, the princess who should have been the key. I woke up not in the core chamber, but in an alien medical bay. I sat up sharply. A woman was standing over me, tall, silver-haired, regal even in a simple cloak. Her eyes widened as she saw me awake. You're conscious? She asked, stunned. The ship bonded to you? Her voice had an accent that hinted of ancient power. Her skin was marked with faint luminescent sigils. Who are you? I asked. I am Lyra Vantari, she said slowly, watching my reaction. Heir to the Celestine Dominion. First daughter of the Star Throne. The rightful pilot of the Veilborn. Oh, great. Royalty. Actual royalty. And very, very annoyed royalty. She stepped close, scanning my face as though searching for an explanation only genetics could give. That ship was grown. Engineered. For my bloodline, she whispered. My genetic code is the key. No one else should even survive touching the core. Well, I touched it. I survived. And it chose me. Her jaw tightened. That is impossible. Tell that to your ship. It started glowing when I walked in. She stared at me for a long, silent moment. Finally, she said, the galaxy will want you dead for this. Fantastic. Just what I needed. I swung my legs off the medbed. Then maybe you can tell me why a ship that was supposed to bond with you bonded with a salvager from a backwater orbital instead? Lyra didn't answer immediately, but she gestured for me to follow. She led me down a corridor that responded to her presence, walls shifting like liquid metal. As we walked, she explained, The Veilborn is not just a vessel. It is a throne. The throne requires a pilot tied to the Celestine bloodline. My entire life, I've been trained to command it. And now, it rejects me. She stopped and faced me. Your existence is disruptive. I laughed. You mean inconvenient. Her glare could melt titanium. The ship speaks. We reached the core chamber again. The crystalline lattice pulsed as I approached, soft, warm, welcoming. When Lyra stepped near, the lights dimmed, almost recoiling. She saw it. She hated it. Why him? She murmured. A voice like a choir whispering through static filled the chamber. Pilot recognized. Aaron Cade. Genetic anomaly detected. Authorization granted. Lyra staggered back. Anomaly? I frowned. What anomaly? The core pulsed again, projecting a holographic helix, my genetic code. Except, it wasn't normal. Lyra stared at it, her eyes widening in disbelief. This sequence is forbidden. Forbidden meaning bad? Forbidden meaning extinct. She touched the helix, letting it spin between her fingers. This is the signature of the Idren, an ancient line erased from history, my ancestors' greatest rivals. A people who could interface with living technology on instinct. So, I'm what? Part Idren. Not part. Half. Your mother must have been hiding. Or exiled. Or. She stopped herself. I swallowed. My mother had died when I was young, leaving no answers behind. Lyra stepped back from the projection. The ship bonded with you because you possess what my people tried to erase. So the ship didn't make a mistake. Worse, she said. It made a choice. The galactic hunt. We had only minutes to process that revelation before alarms blared. A hologram flickered to life. Incoming Dominion warship. Threat level, severe. Lyra turned pale. They're here for you. The Dominion Council will kill you before they allow an Idren descendant to control the Veilborn. They'd kill you too, I said. Yes, she admitted. But I am useful alive. You are inconvenient. I didn't hesitate. We leave. Now. But Lyra surprised me. She stepped forward. We leave together. You are the ship's pilot. And she drew in a breath. I am sworn to protect the throne, even if it no longer wants me. She wasn't lying. She wasn't happy. But she was fierce. The core pulsed again. Panels shifted. The Veilborn awakened. The flight, a ship unlike any other. The moment I sat in the pilot's cradle, the ship responded like an extension of my body. No controls. No screens. Just instinct. The alien warship appeared outside the viewport, weapons locking. Aaron, Lyra said urgently, Dominion ships are relentless. You cannot outrun them. Not planning to. The warship fired. I didn't think. I reacted. The Veilborn folded space, literally folded it, causing the blast to bend around us and tear into the warship's own flank. Lyra gripped the railings. You are doing things impossible for a first-time pilot. I'm not flying it. I exhaled. We're flying each other. The Dominion ship released drones, dozens then hundreds. They swarmed toward us. The Veilborn blossomed open like a mechanical lotus, revealing energy veins that began to glow with star-white fire. Lyra? I said. What happens now? The ship is preparing a judgment. Judgment sounds bad. For them, she said. Not for us. She wasn't wrong. The Veilborn released a pulse of light, so bright the void itself seemed to inhale. The swarm evaporated. The warship was left drifting, dead. Lyra exhaled softly, replacing fear. No wonder my ancestors feared the Idren. A bond like yours, she shook her head. It is something planets would kill for. Middle climax, a secret throne, a forbidden truth. We escaped into uncharted space. For days, Lyra and I explored the ship, its living hallways, its dreamlike interface, its archives. The Veilborn seemed eager to teach me, sometimes too eager. One night, the ship projected a memory, one not mine, not Lyra's. A Celestine king, an Idran queen, once lovers, once allied, until betrayal shattered their peace, sparking a purge that wiped out the Idran. Except, one survived. A woman holding a child. My mother. Lyra watched the vision, her voice barely a whisper. The Dominion erased this from history. And now they'll come erase me too, I said. No, Lyra stepped close. Not if I stand with you. You'd betray your people? She looked up at me, her silver eyes brilliant and fierce. My people betrayed themselves long before you were born. The ending, the ship's real purpose. We were still discussing the revelation when the ship spoke again. Destination reached. What destination? I asked. Lyra frowned. I did not set a course. The stars outside shifted, opening into a region of space unlike anything I'd seen. A nebula of shimmering gold. A colossal structure floating at its heart like a crown made of starlight. Lyra gasped. The astral seat. The what? The true throne of the Dominion, she whispered. A place only a chosen pilot may enter. The Veilborn moved on its own, guiding us inside. We landed in a chamber that felt older than time. The air thrummed with power. A massive crystalline throne stood ahead, similar to the ship's core, but magnitude stronger. The ship spoke once more. Pilot Aaron Cade, present yourself. My pulse hammered. Lyra touched my arm. This is the ship revealing its true purpose. Not for war, for rule. I stepped forward. The throne glowed. It projected two figures, an Idran queen and a Celestine king, standing together, united. A lost vision of what the galaxy once was. A vision the Dominion had destroyed. The throne's voice filled the chamber. Restore what was broken. Lead what was lost. Lyra stood behind me, silent. Then she knelt. Actually knelt. Aaron Cade, she said softly, the throne has chosen you. And I, last heir of the Celestine line, acknowledge its will. My voice shook. Lyra, you don't have to. I do. Her eyes lifted to mine. We rebuild the galaxy together. Your legacy and mine. Idran and Celestine. The way it was meant to be. A pulse of light wrapped around us. The throne accepted her vow. And mine. The Veilborn hummed in approval, no longer merely a ship, but a guardian of a future neither of us had expected. Final ending, the new age. When we emerged from the astral seat, the galaxy had already felt the throne's awakening. Signals. Reverberations. Echoes across star systems. Fleets shifted course. Governments panicked. Whispers spread. The throne has chosen. A new ruler rises. The lost bloodline returns. Lyra stood beside me on the observation deck as the Veilborn prepared for our first broadcast. You know, I said softly, I was just a salvager last week. She smiled faintly. And I was supposed to be queen. Funny how fate redefines us. The ship projected our message across the stars. Not a threat. Not a declaration of war. A promise. The old empire is gone. A new one begins, built on truth, unity, and the strength of both our bloodlines. We will not repeat the sins of the past. Billions heard it. Some cheered. Some trembled. Some prepared to fight. But for the first time, the galaxy would face not a tyrant, not a fragmented council, but two unlikely leaders bound by destiny, rebuilding what was shattered. Lyra looked at me, the nebula's glow reflecting in her silver eyes. "Ready, Aaron?" she asked. I took her hand. "For the galaxy?" I said.
"Yeah."
"Let's shock it." And the Veilborn, our ship, our throne, our future, ignited its star-white engines and carried us into the dawn of a new age.